guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff from the Collector Car Network, and today we're going to be taking a look at Simon Cowell's no expense spared 1965 MG MGB. But before we get into that, first a quick word from our sponsors.
Today's video is sponsored by Land Air Sea. Keep tabs on all your valuable assets from the palm of your hand. Remember, with Land Air Sea, theft is temporary. Visit landairSea.com to order your Land Air Sea GPS unit for your classic vehicle.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at Simon Cowell's 1965 MG MGB, and this car has had no expense spared. This is a custom build built by Frontline Developments, and we're going to be walking through all of the crazy components. Even the engine, transmission have all been swapped out with a bespoke body that has been inspired by, of course, the Lotus Esprit. So we'll show some of those details later, but I think the best place to get started is let's go ahead and let's show you what's sitting under the hood here. So go ahead and take a look here. So, if you'll notice, that engine looks a little bit newer than 1965, and that's because that is actually a Mazda 2.5 liter engine, so commonly found in a turbocharged side on the Mazda side. This engine has been fully built out by Frontline Developments for Simon Cowell and features a ton of reinforced components on the inside of the engine as well. Everything is built up. We don't know the exact horsepower number, but I would assume it's at least over 300 based off the stock input of the 2.5. So that's probably what that's making. It's naturally aspirated. It's got 4 ITBs sticking out the side. It's a really beautiful engine layout, but let's talk about, more importantly, what that's even mated to and some of the exterior characteristics of the car. So this is also connected to a Mazda 6-speed manual transmission. Now, and when you think of Mazda 6-speed, specifically, you think of the Mazda Miata. Now, this one in particular from a 2019 Mazda, we can assume is the ND Miata 6-speed manual transmission, which, if you've ever driven an ND, it has a short shift 6-speed manual transmission that feels absolutely phenomenal. So this car, I bet, is an absolute pleasure to drive. We also have a white interior in here with a number of other bespoke details, including an upgraded sound system. Of course, if you're going to this level of no expense spared, you want to make sure that you have every single thing added into the car as well. Now, looking at some of the exterior components as we get to the side of the car, one of the really cool parts, as I mentioned earlier, was the Lotus Esprit inspiration. So taking a look at the color scheme, we have some really nice silver and gold mesh wheels, but then we actually have a nice gold stripe with the turbo badge. Of course, this car not being turboed, but relating back to the Turbo Esprit. So a very cool touch nonetheless. And the company that builds these cars could be comparable to a coach builder, for example, that builds just the absolute best, most bespoke versions of the MG. So while you may think of typical MG values being anywhere between sort of $5,000 and $15,000, I can assure you that this one is well beyond that. And I can't wait to see what this sells for here. We'll be sure to post that later. In the back here, we have a dual exit exhaust. You can see we got our fuel filler cap and some other details that are fairly standard for the MG, with other stuff kind of pointing out what's been modified under the car. But just as a quick hint, even just to the left here, this is actually also Simon Cowell's car. You can see that this is his Spitfire, which is done in a nice black and red, not nearly to the level as this MG is, being a custom bespoke coach built car, but just a nicely restored factory Spitfire. So with that, if you like British cars and you're interested in finding a collector car for yourself, be sure to check out AutoHunter.com, which is our online auction with cars going live every single weekday, and ClassicCars.com, which is our online marketplace and has over 30,000 cars currently live on the site. If you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and smash that like button for us. We'd really appreciate it, and get subscribed for more content like that in the future. Thank you so much for watching.